You're on record.
All right, good evening, everyone. Announcement is made that adequate notice of this meeting has been given and that it is being conducted in accordance with NJSA 10:4-6 at sec of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Nora, please call the roll.
Mr. Berkowitz.
Here.
Mr. Jaskowitz.
Here.
Mr. Kaplan.
Here.
Mr. Parikh.
Here.
Mr. Petty.
Present.
Ms. Snyder. Here. We have our board planner, Mr. Chadwick, and our board
Present.
attorney, Mr. King.
All right, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okey-doke. At this time, is there anybody who has business to conduct in front of the board that is not on tonight's agenda? Okay, correspondences, we have the one from application 2317 asking to be carried to January 24th of next year without further notice, and then granting us the extension through the end of that month.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, no resolutions, so it's agenda time. Application 2350, Prashant Patel. Come on up.
Sir, raise your right hand. You swear firm testimony you're about to give before the board is true self you got. And for the record, you are Prashant Patel.
Yes.
And you're the owner of the subject property, 130 Flemington Drive, block 260. Okay. You're sworn. Have a seat. Please speak in the microphone, Mr. Chairman. The witness is sworn.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Patel, you are looking to construct a new two-story, single-family dwelling. Can you just walk us through your application? Tell us why you need this?
Yeah, so it's,
Would you please speak into the
Yeah,
microphone?
you gotta get into that mic.
so it's a existing house, but portion of the house is not in a livable condition. So I decided to reconstruct it and also add the second story on that particular portion. So I'm trying to make in a way where I can in line with all the regulations as much as I can. And,
You know, we need you to speak up. I'm sorry, they can't
You
hear
just
in the
speak
back.
a little louder.
hello?
Try the other mic.
Try the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Is it good?
better.
Okay.
Start over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm trying to keep the same lot coverage as what is now, but I'm just lifting and shifting the area and the design. So that's pretty much I'm looking for, and since this is an undersized lot, so because of that, either way, I go below, try to keep up 20% as per the rule. It will be below the minimum, and if I go over, it will be over 20%. So,
So it's only, not the whole house you are bringing down, right? Only half of it?
yes,
And basically you are using the same footprint, or you're going to increase the?
so more or less is the same footprint, lot coverage that I'm planning to do, but I'm just trying to lift and shift. So I'm just demolish some portion of being constructed now, and try to be more in line with the setback as much as I can. Compared to what it is now. So it is as of now it is very off, but I'm trying to come more in line with the current limit.
So it's not the same footprint because your building coverage is 4% bigger,
So as of today, it is 23% already.
3% bigger than,
No, just 1%.
oh, you're currently 23.
Currently is 23%, and I'm just adding 1% in it.
What do you think you're going to save from the existing building? The foundation?
So the right side of the house is recently built, but the left side of the house was very old, and it is not in
If I'm
livable condition.
standing in the middle of Flemington Drive, you're referring to the right side being
Newly
to
constructed.
the south, and the left side would be the north side of the house.
Yeah, the one which is a single story. that is not in livable condition, and also the crawl space is not safe, is collapse, I mean, is,
All I'm asking is, you're trying to maintain existing nonconformities for a side yard, which is the 5.6-foot side yard. Is that portion of the foundation going to be retained?
as of today is 5.6 something, but I'm going to do 6.6 something.
You're going to remove that then?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and that conforms. Okay. Essentially, this is going to be a new home then.
Sorry, say that
It's
again?
going to be a new home, more or less.
Yes, I mean, you can say that
You're not going
because
to
half
save
of,
much.
yeah.
All right.
So did you review the engineer's report? My concern is the storm water management around your project and the fact that his concerns are going to be addressed. Period.
Have you seen this memo
Uh,
from Mr. Lizza?
Yeah, so I consulted the site engineer, and they have, I submitted the report of the site engineer as well, so that is being addressed as well.
Right, but did you read the November 2nd, 2023 memo from the municipal engineer, Justin Leza? He cites numerous concerns, and those would be my concerns as well.
I have not received any of the communication in that regards.
Well, we didn't get it.
Do you have an engineer?
I'm sorry?
Did your engineer receive it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you're gonna comply with everything that's in that letter?
Well, he's just reading it now, it seems.
Well, he's got an engineer who probably should have been here
Yeah.
and testified.
So, I mean, I'm not that kind of technical person, but as
Yeah,
per
but
the
if
site
you have,
engineer.
I'm sorry, to Mr. King's point, though, you have an engineer. Where
Correct.
is he?
Sorry,
Where is he tonight?
he's not here.
Okay, so chances are, to Mr. King's point, your engineer received this. Okay?
Okay.
No, maybe not? Okay? Well, I mean,
He testified that he did.
In short,
okay,
if we have to go approve this application, you have to comply with the engineer's report.
So I can give it to him and
No,
get
no, you
the,
have to comply.
okay.
Only way we're voting yes
Not-
is if
not
you
give it
agree to
to
comply
review.
with
This is
each
not
one
a-
of those
this
recommendations.
is
You have
not
to
a
agree.
search and choose type of exercise. This is a, you will comply. These are, these are concerning points that, the engineer has made, and I'm calling it out.
So I can say the first one is a recommendation, which is, I'm agreed to in line with. Second is also not moving major soil, so it is also going to be in line. Um, So I talked to my site engineer as per what he said, mentioned to me when I asked for it, but as per his recommendation, it is not required. The
He doesn't really
the
get it.
grading,
So
grading.
that's called hearsay. That's why it would have been important for him to be here. He could have been telling us what.
Okay.
It seems like your engineer has a little bit more information,
Okay.
and knowledge about this. So are you gonna comply, will you comply with that letter?
Yes, I will comply with that letter.
All those points.
All
Yeah.
points of the letter.
Okay.
Not
Yep.
just-
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Because of time, are there any,
I'm sorry, there's a note
Oh,
at the
fence.
bottom of the review about a fence that needs to be addressed.
You know about
Oh.
a fence that's on your property, or kind of?
It's a neighbor fence. It's not my fence.
But it's on your property?
It's on the property line. I'm not quite sure it's on my property or the
It
neighbor's
says it's on
property.
your property line.
So you're gonna have the neighbor remove it?
I'll,
Or you can legalize also, right? Is option to legalize also.
Yeah,
If it's.
So
yeah,
the
because
fence
we
is-
have, we have a lot of those cases where neighbors.
I have seen the
How
fence
do we
is
legalize
already
a
been,
fence that's not his?
On his property?
But
Right.
if it's the neighbor's property and he's okay with it,
I don't think it's the neighbor's property.
I think it's his fence on
what
the
he's
property.
testifying,
the
it's not
reverse.
his fence.
it is, it seems like neighbor's
opposite.
fence because
Yeah.
I see the
if
finished
he's
side is
okay
on my
with it-
side. So meaning that,
Might as well just
but
allow.
even then, the fence is collapsed anyway, so I mean, what I saw is the fence is already been collapsed.
How high is the fence, do you know?
It is, 5 feet or something, 5 feet or 6, almost 6 feet, yeah, 6 feet, wood fence.
Not his till we go.
But as I said, it's already been collapsed.
If it's on his
It already, what, collapsed?
Yeah,
So it has to come down anyway?
yes.
So as
So
a
did you hear that?
condition, would
He
you
says it's
remove that
collapsed, it
fence?
has to come down.
I can remove the fence and if, get
You can't
permitted, I
remove
can-
anything if it's not your property,
Well,
No, I
it's
think
Well,
his
or-
property,
it's his property.
But the neighbor's
but
fence.
the
The
fence
neighbor's
is
fence-
his neighbor's.
The neighbor's fence is on his property.
There's
Looks
fence
like
on
a
the
chain, it
side,
looks like it's a chain link
there's
fence.
fence on the side, and
He's
there's
saying
fence
it's
in the
wood.
rear.
No, if it is his,
Looks like the
his
one
fence,
that's
he will
in the
remove
rear
it.
for
If it is not his fence, what he's supposed to do?
That's on his property.
It's on his
Yes.
property.
Yeah.
So we want.
Is it the backyard you're talking about, right? Yeah, so,
Sure we can.
Yep.
So
His property, we can.
Yes, but it is his
his
property.
fence.
Then it
He
is.
says wooden fences.
It's one over here. Who's that one belong to?
Remove that.
He wants to remove it, or do you remove it?
Can't do anything with that.
This is the chain link fence.
No, this is the wooden fence.
It's wooden.
You gotta look real close.
I can't read that. I see it now, yeah.
Yeah, it's wooden fence.
Actually, it
Wooden
is
fence has to
between two properties.
Well, that's not
I mean,
it.
it's his property, but
It's
we can't.
it's falling down, so.
He says it's coming down, it's already collapsing, he's taking it down.
it's already been collapsed.
The
Yeah.
fence along the back of your property, you're gonna remove, correct?
Okay, yeah,
That's your fence, it's on your property.
yeah,
The other part of the fence that runs on the side, you're gonna have to talk to your neighbor, is that in good condition or is that falling down as well?
there is no other fence anywhere except the backyard, as
Is
of
that
today.
chain link fence on?
There is no chain link fence as of today.
If I'm standing in the back of your house right now, you've got a backyard.
Oh, yeah,
wooden
chain link
that's
fence.
falling down. There's also one on the left, correct?
Correct, yeah, there is a chain link fence, 4 feet,
Okay,
yes.
whose fence is that?
There I have no knowledge, but,
On his property.
yeah,
But it's in good condition.
it's in good condition,
All right, so you're gonna remove the one in the back.
correct,
That's on
Okay.
his property.
Fine,
From the
you're done.
corner over.
yep.
Any other questions?
No.
Are there, at this time, I would ask if there are any questions from the public that you come forward. No one from the public has any questions. Comments?
Ask for a moment. Ed Grove is closed, you can ask for comments, so there's no
Or yes, for questions. Anyone, for or against this application want to speak? No one's come forward. Board can I have a motion.
Sure. I think this is a minor ask. They're looking to improve a site to stay in town, and he's going to go along with the engineering letter, so and take down the back fence, so I'm going to be voting for it. Want me to continue?
Go for it.
Application 23:50, Prashant Patel, 130 Flemington Drive, Block 260, Lot 10, Zone R4. Recommend granting a C variance to construct a new two-story single-family dwelling, roofed entranceway, open deck with stairs, contrary to section 430-35, columns 2, 3, 4, 7, and 10, section 430-10-1 or I, with adhering to taking down the back fence and doing everything required in the engineering letter.
Second reading.
Okay, Nora?
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Okay, the application's approved. You can talk to Nora after the next meeting, once we vote on the resolution.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
George. All right, application 2342, Jay Shri Patel, 8 Ridgewood Avenue.
Who's going to be testifying, both?
I will be, but she's the homeowner.
Okay, so,
I'm the son.
okay.
I live at the residence.
So raise your right hand. You swear firm testimony about to provide before the board is true, so help you God.
You,
And for the record, you're here with your mother, And she's the owner of the house, and you just live at the house? Okay, thank you, you're sworn.
Thank you.
Have a seat, talking to me.
All right, you're looking to construct a sidewalk expansion, a front walk expansion, a shed on pavers that are already there, and you want to legalize a walkway and the rear patio, correct?
Yes.
All right, tell us about it.
So the front steps already have the landing that was existing there, that was already pavers. There was a walkway that leads to the backyard that was concrete originally, but it was cracking and everything, so the concrete patio all the way to the back. The shed was probably built back in 1960s or 70s originally with the house, when we bought the house in 1987, roughly. So the shed was coming apart, rats were getting in and everything like that. So the shed had to come down eventually with the concrete patio underneath it. So what we decided to do, I didn't know about the new zoning laws and everything like that. Well, I moved back into town from Virginia to stay with my mom after my father passed away a year and a half ago. So we decided with our family and everything, hey, let's rip out the concrete, just change out the concrete to the pavers and the front landing, paver to paver, so it all matches consistently all the way through. But we did not know that, so the work is almost complete and they stopped work. The Michael from the zoning, he came to stop the work. He told us, go speak to the office, get all the paperwork, and then we'll go through the proper process. I said, no problem, let's do it. So the work has been halted since the summertime.
And the pavers, what's in between them? Is it sand or is it like a polymer?
He has like a gravel, like a really thin concrete type of gravel going between it, and then has a concrete, like a plaster type of thing to hold the bricks together.
So that means it's solid and the water is not going through?
The water is going through, sorry.
Then it's,
It's like, it has this really small barrier on the side of it, so the pavers don't shift.
Yeah, so that's on the side to hold them together? It's like a
Yes, just to
plastic
hold them
edge.
together, yes. They're very small edge,
But
yes.
where you put the pavers, they then put sand on top of it?
Yes,
What-
yes.
So it's not cemented, it's...
Not cemented in, no, sir.
Porous.
It's-
Water will go through.
Water would definitely go through, yes. The storm that we just had, the part that was done, the water did flow through properly, that I saw, with everything in the back. So, the shed that was originally in the back of the house, it was oversized shed. So what we decided to do, the same size, we changed it to the patio, and then the patio, we just moved that for the newer shed with a smaller, like a plastic type of fence in the back, shed in the back.
so did you read the engineering letter?
No, I have not gotten the engineering letter.
It's not
You're
so
not gonna
simple.
like it.
Yeah, you're not gonna like it, because he presents some significant water runoff issues in light of what you just described, so, I mean, that, again...
I would read it, it's a little difficult.
Yep.
We spoke to Mr. James in engineering, me and Chandra Barana, and he said as long as it's, because we're just changing the small patio to the back and the big patio to the
No,
back of the house.
you know what it is? I get it to the naked eye. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I mean, we have professionals and engineers for this particular reason. And this engineer report really kind of cites some, concerning issues in regards to the stormwater management.
I would take a minute and read it, because you're telling us something from somebody else that we don't know is fact, and what we have as fact is concerning.
And your impervious coverage is 12% over. That's why we need to look at that.
No, but-
Yep.
I mean, it may seem little for this project, but if we approved every single project in Lake Hiawatha based on these terms, I mean, the water runoff problem would be a significant concern. And so, the buck's gotta stop here.
Read 4 real well.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
And, I would just add, current weather conditions really amplify and solidify why we really need to be concerned about stormwater runoff in Lake Hiawatha, particularly lower Lake Hiawatha.
So here's something you might want to think about.
Okay.
You might want to ask us to carry this so you have time to talk to your contractor. Because really, the only way that this is going to be approved is if you agree to those conditions. And when you see the phrase hefty cost associated with it, I think you might want to see what that entails.
Just a suggestion, what if we were to get rid of the back patio? The shed patio?
Yeah, there's nothing that's gonna happen now and the next meeting in January or wherever you get carried to. There's nothing life-threatening here. So why don't you go meet with the township engineer or his associates and discuss this letter with them. Figure out whether you can or cannot accommodate what he would like to have done. And if you can't, then maybe you gotta alter your project a little bit.
Okay, so
Instead of going around in circles.
I got you, understand. So once I speak to him, the town engineer, we come down to solid, okay,
Well,
yes,
we'll
yes.
need, just to let you know, we will need something from him in writing.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Yes, that says, this is the accommodation we're willing to make.
Okay.
Or do.
Okay.
Because if you come back and said, I ironed it out with him, he said this, we can't take that.
Understood.
Fair?
That's no problem. And who do I speak to in engineering?
I
Is it
would call Justin Lizza.
Okay.
He's the head
Okay.
of the engineering department. And they might send somebody else, but you'll get your answers that way.
Oh, that's the best way to proceed with this, you would.
Yeah, because it's just,
because
he's giving you a solution, but before he's telling you it could be expensive and it could be not doable.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to start and then find out you're stuck.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good then. Okay.
All right, so you're
No
willing
problem.
to carry this case and grant us all extensions needed to do so?
Yes.
February 28th.
And it'll be without further notice to anyone here for this application, the meeting.
Do I have to let everybody else know again? No, right? That's what you said, okay. It's costly.
February 28th. All right, so this is being carried to February 28th.
Okay.
Without further notice, and talk to Mr. Lizza, good luck.
Understood.
See you then.
Thank you very much.
Get your letter.
We're gonna make a motion to carry.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna stand by.
We don't have to worry about it.
Stand
Motion
by.
to carry,
So moved. Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, see ya. Okay, that brings us to 2353, Arthur and Eric Stosky, 35 Fern Cliff.
Ma'am, if you could raise your right hand. You swear or affirm testimony about to give before the board is true self you got. And for the record, you're Erica?
I'm Erica.
Oh, Eric.
And Arthur's not going to be here tonight?
No.
Okay. Have a seat, just please speak up into the mic.
All right, so you're looking to construct a second-story addition, a
Yes.
one-story roof porch, an entranceway. Okay, why don't you tell us about it?
We are currently in a raised ranch, and we're hoping to take the roof off and add a second story, adding some bedrooms. We've got 3 young kids that are getting bigger, and we've got family out of state that we'd like to have guest rooms, so we're hoping to expand the house for that reason. And the exception that we have is the 2 upper windows. Our architect has advised should be cantilevered forward, just for structural purposes and also for aesthetic purposes. That structurally, the entrance and the entryway would be stronger, having these cantilevers. And also, we're on a hill, and to make the front of the house, I guess, just more interesting, to break it up instead of having one large wall, we wanted to add some depth and texture so that it's not an eyesore to the neighbors. But the result of that, because of where our house is right now, we're already very close to the setback from the street. We're at, I think, the 40 feet, and those 2 upstairs windows would push us 2 feet over the setback.
That's your only variance, correct?
That's right.
Did you get this letter?
Is that about the soil?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
So if we were to vote, you would agree that to the terms of the letter?
Yeah, I did have a question about it.
Go ahead.
The architect that we're working with, Rich Dowko, he called and said that these would be addressed in the building application process. So I guess once we got to that point, we would go through them, but like about the soil.
Well, you won't get approved here without, I don't think, without agreeing to these terms.
I mean,
Okay.
we would,
Yeah.
we will follow the rules and get the permits and the application process. We want to do that.
Pretty house.
I just wasn't sure like at what point we're supposed to do that.
Right.
What are your plans for the attic?
Right now, we have it unfinished. I think we would leave it unfinished, that we would just have the second story as bedrooms and then an upstairs, unfinished attic above that.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Questions from the public? No one's come forward. Any comments from the public for or against? Okay, no one's come forward. Someone on the board want to make a statement?
Just before that, I just want to make sure that unfinished attic is going to be an unfinished attic, and like later on after the approval, it doesn't be converted into any type of like,
In the resolution, I'll put the.
okay, yeah, kitchen or anything like that. All right.
All right, someone want to?
This is a reasonable request for the family needs. I'm in favor of it.
Okay, you want to frame the resolution?
Application 23:53, Arthur and Eric Stowski, 35 Winkoff, block number 168, lot 104, zone R-3, to issue or grant a C variance to construct a second-story addition, including cantilever square feet and one-story roofed porch, entrance way contrary to section 430-35, column 4, and in compliance with the engineer's report, and the attic should be unfinished.
Second, Jaskowitz.
Okay, Nora?
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Creek.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
All right, your application is passed. After the next meeting, when we approve the resolution, you'll be free to continue.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, application 2354, Cheryl Diorio.
Who's gonna, provide testimony?
This is Cheryl Diorio, and I'm son James Diorio.
So who's gonna provide testimony? You will? Raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to provide to the board is true self you got?
Yes.
And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
James Diorio.
All right, so you're sworn, have a seat, talk into the microphone. And do you live at the home?
I do not.
Okay, so you're just gonna be testifying about,
Just in general about the variances required.
and you've worked with your mom, consulted with your
Oh,
mom, and
yeah, I
helped her
have
with this?
the
Okay.
contractor come in and.
So you factually, you know what you're gonna be testifying.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right,
Let's start.
sure.
Okay, my mother's been looking to construct a deck at this home for probably about 40 years, ever since, father passed away, 13, 14 years ago. Finally, coming to the point where we're gonna try to make that happen. Did not realize until, I'd say, about 6 months ago that a variance was even required because you have Pittman Place, which is her front address, and Dickerson Road is in the back, which is actually in Denville, or on the other side of it is the border of Denville. And we thought it was a rear yard. I called zoning and I checked into a deck. It only requires 10-foot setback. But then we realized when I had applied and called the tenant, like, no, you actually do need a variance. And we went to Sundora and got all the paperwork and whatnot because it counts as 2 front yard setbacks. So as a result, I think I have it here. It's like 24 foot is existing to the house, requires 40. We're looking for 12.75 feet. The deck will protrude about 12 feet off of the back of the home. And as a result, it pushes impervious, which is already over slightly. It pushes up a little bit more. But I do notice the engineers missed one thing. He forgot to back off the porch that's going to be demolished. So we would actually get back 27.5 feet of impervious coverage. Regardless of that, I do have the engineering letter. My mother gave it to me yesterday. We looked through it, the recommendation for a dry well system to be installed, and I understand the need, but had a question about it in general, and may not specify this on the application, but this is an open deck. It's slatted, it's not solid, so the water's going to infiltrate through. So I had a question in general, does that still count as impervious?
Maybe you can explain that to the engineer. You've heard the cases before. General practice is to condition it on the engineer's letter. And if you work out a different way of dealing with things,
Okay,
you're gonna get it in writing, you get it back here,
understood.
but.
Okay, yeah, and, you
Go
know,
forward.
I think we're still gonna have the same infiltration, being that it's open, and we're actually.
The town's ordinance doesn't have that provision. A lot of
It
towns
doesn't,
do,
okay.
but you can explain it to the engineers, it's not rocket science.
Okay, and I think we're just misspecifying that in the application. And I think the recommendation was a perk test to be done there, which I think that kind of goes hand in hand with what you're saying.
Yep.
But, I mean, there's a few variances, the setback, the impervious coverage, and the main building coverage.
This is Mount Tabor. Nobody complies with anything.
No, I know.
It was built a long time before zoning came in.
Butler Pass.
It's right.
It's right past the zone.
Yeah, it's out the front door, goes up to the golf course.
Oh,
And that's been vacated, it says.
I'm sorry?
It says
Yeah, Mount
it's been vacated.
Butler Pass? No, it's still, it's a one-way street, now, uphill.
On your application, it indicates that it says that per the engineering department, Butler Pass has been vacated. So it's not a public throughway on your property.
Oh, no, it's not a public throughway on the property, no. I didn't even realize that, to be honest. But it stops at the property, the curb line is there.
any more questions from the board?
No.
Public, any questions from the public? Anyone, from the public wish to comment on this application? There's nobody. All right, comment from the board?
De minimis, and we'll adhere with the engineering and come back to us with a letter where they end up.
All right, keep going.
Okay, application 23:54, Cheryl DiOrio, 15 Pittman Place, Block 37, Lot 7, Zone R3, recommend granting a C variance to construct a deck contrary to Section 430-10I, Section 430-35, column 4 and 13, with consultation with engineering and getting back to us with a letter agreeing to any terms.
Seconded.
North?
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
All right, you're all set. Congratulations.
Good luck.
Enjoy. Good luck.
Thank you. And then based on resolution compliance, we just have to.
Yeah, after the
Check with
next
the engineer.
meeting in January,
weeks.
call Nora.
3 weeks
She'll let
maybe.
you know when you're good. But you gotta talk to the engineer and get that adjusted.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right, thank you all.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Moving at warp speed.
Keep it up.
And try it. 2356 Danielle Palestina. Did I say that right? All right.
Ma'am, raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony about the board to speak yourself you got?
Yes.
For the record, can you state and spell your name?
Yes, Danielle Palestina, Palestina.
And you're the owner of the subject property?
Correct.
All right, thank you.
All right, you want to build a retaining wall and patio.
Yes.
Tell us why.
Okay, I am a brand-new homeowner, purchased the home in May 2022. Upon inspection, the inspector told me that the retaining wall eventually would have to be replaced. Over the past year and a half, I developed a sinkhole, and the retaining wall started to lean into my neighbor's fence. Out of fear that my driveway was going to collapse or the wall was going to collapse, I started the work. When we started excavating, we found that there was a storm pipe that was against the foundation that was leaking and basically ended in the middle of my driveway. So storm drains were updated and replaced, and then now tie into the main sewer line or storm line. Got a permit for that. Through all of that, learned that I needed a variance for the wall, and so here I am.
It's really a safety issue.
Safety issue, absolutely.
And there are two minor notes.
Yes.
You've seen that?
Yes.
You're willing to comply?
Yes.
There's really nothing there.
No,
No.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Nope, it's a case of what would we all have done if we were in that situation? I'm sorry if I spoke out of turn, but that's basically it,
No,
right?
we're good. Anyone here from the public have any questions for the applicant? Anyone from the public have a comment on this application? Nobody. All right, someone from the board.
Again, I think my, little, sporadic spurt said it all. What would we have done if we were in that situation? This is a safety issue. It's a de minimis ask in light of that safety issue, and I'll be voting for it.
Okay, want to keep going to the resolution?
Sure. Chair, in the case of application 2356 Danielle Palestina at 188 Elmwood Drive, Block 252, Lot 21, Zone R4, that we grant a C variance to construct a retaining wall and patio contrary to Section 430-11D, Section 430-275X, and Sections 430-35, columns 8 and 13.
Second, Casey.
Nora?
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
All right, passes. Good luck with your wall. Okay, last one, 2355 Alpha Investments. See how fast we're going tonight?
Keep it up.
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Simone Cali, Cali Law LLC, on behalf of the applicant, Alpha Investments. Mr. Chairman, we are here tonight for an application seeking variance relief for the property located at 60 Winona Avenue. This applicant, Alpha Investments LLC, is perhaps familiar to this board, certainly familiar to the township. He's a known developer and takes pride in his development work and the homes that he builds. We are here due to the issuance of a stop work order. My client was in the process of renovating an existing home. And long story short, the stop work order was issued. Too many walls came down, zoning officer came out, or code enforcement, and that's why we immediately made the application to this board to obtain the variance relief to ratify what has already been done in the field. Unless you have any preliminary questions for me, that's really why we're here tonight. I have 2 witnesses, but we are taking the hint, and I only intend to call one this evening. So without further ado, I can introduce our land surveyor, Mr. Stephen Smith.
Out of curiosity, who's the other witness?
Architect.
And what's the hint? I'm sorry.
You guys are going through these so quick tonight. I don't
Okay,
think you want
all
to
right.
hear from more than one
Gotcha.
person.
Okay.
If we have questions, go ahead.
Sir, if you raise your right hand, you swear firm testimony about the people before the board, true self you got. And for the record, can you state and spell your name?
Stephen Smith, S-M-I-T-H.
And you're certified planner?
Yeah, you need to speak into the mic.
Speak into the mic,
I think this one is,
Answer that by
this
recording.
one is better.
And your testimony tonight will be as a planner or as the land surveyor or both?
I'm a licensed land surveyor and planner. I'll
And
be
all your
testifying
licenses
as
are in
well.
full force and effect?
Yes, they are.
And you've been qualified before this board before and other boards in the state?
That is also
Right, Mr.
correct.
Chairman, you're qualified as an expert. Thank you, and you're sworn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, the long and short is, we had plans into the town that we didn't think were a problem, that all of a sudden did become a problem. That when we started on the project, there was an existing frame garage. There was a wood platform patio behind it and a rather large paved driveway. Those items were removed. We constructed an addition on the northerly side of the house, put in a new driveway, and put on a second floor. One of the things that's very unusual is that on this application, we're actually reducing the impervious coverage on the property by 1,151 square feet, which is almost unheard of when you go back in and do redevelopment. So the variances that we're looking for are for the pre-existing non-conforming front yards that became an issue because all the walls came down. The closest
Can I interrupt you a
is
second?
24,
did you get a building permit under the rehab section, or did you get a stop work order because they're reclassifying this?
I believe that the stop work came about because more walls were taken down. That it
Which
was
triggers a different code.
Yeah.
correct.
So that's why, so you lost your nonconformities because you no longer were treated as a, developed lot, you were treated as a vacant lot.
Correct. It went from not a problem to a problem because they took down the walls that they had issues with the studs on.
Now you have to pay your development.
The nonconformity in
So this
the,
is a technicality. This is all a technicality.
yes,
I mean,
the nonconformity in the front yard setback on the one side is approximately 9 inches, on the other front, it's about 3 inches, so we're talking minimal. The other variance that's being requested is for building coverage, that on the front stoop, Mr. Gupta constructed a roof or awning over that front stoop. That's 3 by 7.5. By your ordinance, that is deemed part of the building coverage. So now we exceed the building coverage by 21 square feet. Just as a note, the building coverage that we are seeking is actually less than what was previously there. When we took down the garage, we actually end up with a net decrease on the building coverage. It still exceeds your ordinance, but there's less than there was before we started. And there was another issue that was raised regarding a fence, and that was something that I was not sure what that was, so I stopped out again today to take a look at it. And originally, there was fence that went down the part of the northerly property line that went to the front corner of the garage. And then there was fence that started at the southeasterly corner of the garage and went southerly. When the garage came down, it then left an opening between the two neighbors. The neighbor asked Mr. Gupta if he would put up a fence to finish closing it up. He put the fence up where the garage was, which is less than the 6 inches off of the property line, which then triggers then.
So you're saying the neighbor wants, because it's on the property line, right? So,
correct.
and the neighbor wants that.
Mr. Gupta just figured if it made the gentleman happy, he put the fence up, so he did.
Good fences, good neighbors.
So now we should bring the neighbor in to testify that he wanted.
Is the neighbor here?
Those, were the variances that we're, seeking, tonight. Again, all, de minimis in nature, that feel that the aesthetics that have been created by the new construction and the fact that the covered stoop actually is a safer ingress and egress from the house if it's in bad weather. I feel that, in my opinion, you can grant these variances without substantially impairing the intent purpose of the zoning plan or no impact on the neighborhood.
The fence, it's the same fence, it's not like a different random, he just extended
not
it. Okay.
so it doesn't look like patchwork.
I'm sorry? Well, the fence that's up there now is new, the other, of course, was not new.
But it's the same
So you're going to see a
type.
newer section of fence.
No, but it's the same type of fence. In other words, we're concerned about aesthetics, if you haven't read into Mr. Kaplan or the chairman's comments.
I'm sorry.
Aesthetically,
From the road, you can't see the fence. It's not till you walk to the back of
But
the
it's the
house.
same fight, if there was a wood fence there, he'd replace it with wood and not vinyl. If there was a vinyl fence, he didn't
No,
put chain
correct.
link fence.
It's wood to wood, but it's old to new.
It's just whether
we
wood.
got it, but it's
Correct,
not,
yeah.
it's not wood to PVC.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It'll look the same in a year. All right, and other than that, we're talking 0.25% here, a couple feet there, nothing else. Any other questions from the board? Any questions from the public?
Ma'am, are you from the public on this? I saw you.
No, that's my wife.
Oh.
So you have a fan club today. It's your big time.
Bring your own audience.
Okay. Boo and hissing, that'd be funny.
Any questions? All right, anyone in the public wish to make a comment on this application? All right, someone from the board want to make a comment, and we'll be
Sure.
done.
Seems de minimis in nature, you know, really, just, I don't know why you're here.
Yeah, and I'd like to add a little to it. I drove past the area. It really does look nice. And, you know, in regards to this fence thing, you know, these fencing codes that, you know, were probably drawn up when this was a quiet lakeside community, but now, you know, we're, becoming more voluminous in, you know, in the residentship, if you will. So as long as it's aesthetically pleasing and the neighbor is not complaining about it, I too, if I was your neighbor, would want that fence as well. So, you know, at the bottom of, at the end of the equation, we always want to put our shoes into your neighbor's, we want to put our feet into your neighbor's shoes. So, yeah, I agree with Mr. Jaskowitz. I think this is de minimis in nature, and really it is a vast improvement in regards to what's already there. So, I'll be voting for it too.
All right, someone want to frame the resolution?
Sure, application 23:55, Alpha Investment, 60 Winona Avenue, Block 524, Lot 19, Zone R4, recommending granting a C variance to construct a new single-family dwelling, contrary to sections 430-11D, 430-35, columns 2, 4, and 10.
Second ready?
Berkowitz.
Yes.
Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Kaplan.
Yes.
Parikh.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
All right, passes.
Thank you.
Thanks for making the house look good. Just for the record, 45 minutes, 6 cases.
And you should be very proud of him. He was a leader today.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, second.
We gotta approve.
Happy holidays, everybody.
So we have to approve Zuccarelli's.
Just right there, you gotta get out of here.
We didn't begin.
Oh, then I was just,
You were messing with the cookies.
I was messing with the cookies. Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Anyway, we're-
Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy, healthy New Year.
Everything.
Stay up
Happy
for ladders,
everything.
man.
Happy everything.
This is the last meeting of the year.
That's it.
Yes.
Everyone,
So-
thanks to you.
John,
See
you
you
have a
next
seat.
year, but you may not, who knows, you never know.
I'll make you a deal.
All right, kids.